I'm here.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, stuck in the house, but good.
Are you now where are you?
I'm in California.
Okay, same. So I'm in LA. Are you in LA?
I have a house in LA, but I'm out at my other place in Palm Springs. So I'm hiding.
Gosh, rough life.
It's it's good. I'm blessed. What can
But you can't go to Tropical. It's closed.
Everything's closed. It's like
know.
it's crazy. And every time
so,
I go to the grocery store, I can't breathe because I got the mask on. I'm like, I feel like a stalker. I'm like,
yeah.
When in our lives have we been able to go into a store with mask, glasses, hat, gloves? You look like you're going to rob the place.
No, but you look very tan. Are you tanning? Is it sunny out there?
No, it's bronzer. I use self tanner.
Okay, so let's get into, so for people who don't know, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
I'm a makeup artist and an entrepreneur. I have a cosmetic line. I worked with J.Lo and many celebrities. I've written 2 books. Have over 450 magazine covers to my name, over 286 music videos, 7 films. I have a pretty hefty resume. And my most notable client is J.Lo. You know, I've been with her for 20 years. So lots of films, lots of movies.
So, you know, people want to know what, you know, I have been fortunate enough to interview Jennifer many times. I got to sit next to her at the Critics' Choice Awards for 3 hours. So that was amazing.
Isn't she amazing? She's super sweet, very humble.
And by the way, everyone watching, she looks that good when you're this close to her.
Yeah, she's a beauty, for sure.
So it's kind of to tell people, developing these relationships with your clients, how does that start and how do you kind of finesse that to last, example with Jennifer, for 20 years?
Well, you know, I think that's very rare in Hollywood because most people go through marital relationships in a week. So to last that long is a testament to also her loyalty, but also my dedication to her and my craft. So I think when you have respect for people, which I have the utmost respect for her, and I think it's just knowing your place too. You know, I'm there to service you. I'm a makeup artist. I'm not the star. You are, you know, and that's what I think a lot of people get messed up sometimes in this business. They go in thinking that they're just as important as the artist.
Wait, I'm gonna phones because someone told me my voice was out of sync. So I'm taking my headphones are out. Headphones are out.
Yeah, sometimes that makes it worse, right? The headphone thing.
We got a question on the question there. They want to know, what foundation do you use on Jennifer?
A lot of times I use Chanel. Because it's sheer, but it's got a lot of coverage, so I use that quite a bit. And I use my foundation as well. Sometimes I mix the 2 together. So, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about your line, but I've got to ask you about the Super Bowl because.
How much fun was that? I'm still reeling from it, just so you know. It was like, and then the DSW thing, and it was like, and then the Versace thing. I mean, it was an incredible year last year. I have to be honest with you. It was really incredible. And then Hustlers, you know, which I did the film. I mean, it was just crazy. Crazy.
Vanessa Williams is in the chat room. Hello, Vanessa Williams.
I love me some Vanessa Williams.
Okay, but did you do Jen's makeup right before she went on the stage? How does that, where are you? How does that work?
Well, I went to Jennifer's house and she did a little rehearsal and we started makeup and we just went slow that day. It's almost like when you do the Oscars, like those days we work a little bit slower. It's not like, hurry up, we got to get it done, let's go. You know, it was like, we'll take our time, you know. And then we transported by police escort to the stadium, which was so much fun. And then we finished glam there and then we went on stage. It was just, and it was almost surreal. And I got to tell you, it was just standing there. And when she said, you know, are you ready, Miami? And like literally, it was like a wave that just, it hit us. Like, it was incredible. It was an incredible feeling.
What does
witness?
I guess I want to know, what does the energy feel like? Because there's, you know, and honestly, that performance was really one of the last huge performances until all this happened.
I know.
What does that energy feel like being in that stadium with all these people just waiting?
That's the thing. That's what I was saying. It's like you just felt it. It was like a wave. Like that kind of energy. If you could harness that somehow, it would be amazing. But you're just standing there and you're like, you feel it. It's like a wall of energy coming at you. And I can't imagine what it feels like for her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm standing on the side watching, you know? So it's amazing.
How does that makeup not melt off her face when she's like dancing around? And
I have lots of secrets.
The people want to know your secrets.
It's, you know what it is? I do very fine layering, and so that it doesn't look like cake face, but also it withstands the lights, it withstands the heat, and the dancing and everything else. You know, I did the tour with Jennifer. It's like that's night after night, and we were played all through the summer. You have to remember that we were in some very hot, humid climates doing the It's My Party tour. And so my job is to keep that on and keep her looking amazing, because her face has to match her talent, right? This is what my job is. My job is to take this beautiful person and make that stay so that it's flawless the whole time. And she does a good job too. She's very aware of how to keep herself together, always has been. So that helps a lot. There's some people that, you do their makeup and then they're like, and
you're like, don't touch your face.
Don't touch your face. Don't cry. Don't make out with your boyfriend. Just stop. Just sit still. Be pretty.
We're getting a lot of questions. People want to know, have you used Tati palette on J.Lo? What does that mean?
Tati West. Yeah, she's the glam guru. She's my friend Tati. We do, like, we kind of, we've just been friends for years, and she's a YouTuber. She's amazing. And yes, I've used it, but I've been using a lot of my stuff, and then I use a lot of Huda stuff, because it's strong, it's punchy. I like it. Anastasia, Jeffree Star. I use a little bit of everything,
Okay, it's a buffet,
Literally, I joke around. I say I drag Sephora around with me. I have 3 trunks, and I'm like, okay. My assistants are like, okay, what do you need? And we have everything so categorized. Thank God. They keep me so organized, because I just couldn't do it otherwise. Yeah. And we never know what's going to happen either. You're on a photo shoot. We're in a music video. It just all depends on what we're doing. And I need to have everything there, because you can't stop and run out. I'm going to go to the store. I'll be back. I'll be back in 20.
I got a question which I thought was interesting, and even when I'm filming, I have to wear makeup, and I have dry skin.
Okay.
People want to know, how do you prep the dry skin so the foundation doesn't crack?
Okay, couple things. I brought some of my favorite things. Love La Mer.
Okay, but Scott.
Okay, not everybody. Hold on. I wasn't going wild. I was doing my high-end, low-end things. Okay. I have a couple, like, beauty, and this is stuff I've been doing since we've been in quarantine too, to kind of like freshen up my skin, and like I've been doing face masks. I use Clé de Peau. It comes with a tube thing, which is nice. It's a little on the high-end side, but you can get these at CVS. You can get masks. I always go for like hydrating masks. Like if you're dry, I would tell you to hydrate. If you are on a really tight budget and you want just a decent moisturizer, Oil of Olay is a great moisturizer. You're on a budget, you can't afford Lancer for, sun protection, Neutrogena, which I love Neutrogena. I think it's a great product, and it also makes your body look amazing. It gives you body definition without even trying to overdo it. It's a great product for that. Lips, Sarah Happ, you got dry lips, use some Sarah Happ. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but it's a lip scrub and a lip treatment together. So scrub, clean it off, and these things make your lipstick stay on better. It makes, gets rid of dry skin. It makes you look amazing. So these are little tips that just work. They work. And if you've got like roots and you're getting gray and you're in quarantine, little root spray from L'Oreal, that'll help you. It's like makeup for your hair. It works for your beard too.
Okay. Now on the flip side, what about oily skin? What do you do if the person's oily?
I really like a translucent powder for oily skin. I think that works the best. Like it's just almost like what you would use as a blotting paper or something, just to get rid of that excess oil without it becoming, again, cakey. Because like a lot of times people try to stop the oil and it makes the skin more sebaceous. It's just the rule of thumb. You can ask any dermatologist. You over dry the skin, it becomes oilier, because if you're oily and it's like, you're drying me out, I'm supposed to be oily, so it over oils. So I always say use oil, believe it or not. It kind of helps you balance it out.
So oil is your friend.
Oil is not your enemy. It does not break your skin out. Usually dry skin, if you probably, because you said you're dry, right? You have combination, or you're just dry.
Yeah.
usually where you get really dry, sometimes you'll break out because the dirt and oil can't get through. It gets trapped and then you get a pimple, you know? So people don't realize that the over drying of the skin is actually more harmful than letting your skin decongest on its own.
Will you be doing a master class? There's a lot of people that want.
I do. I want to.
What's going on with that, Scott?
I don't know. Where am I doing it? I need
maybe not now, in the future.
Yes, for sure. I've done quite a few master classes. I've done them globally. Been to London, been to the Middle East, you know. It's good. I love doing master classes and I love to teach. I think, you know, this is why I wrote 2 books. It was really for teaching, and I love my YouTube channel for that reason. You know, a lot of useful information for people. Makeup should be fun, and I don't want people to be afraid of it. It was funny because we were talking this morning about the way that my cosmetics come packaged. Because first of all, if anybody knows me, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe to begin with. I'm very like with the elbows and closing doors and turning on lights.
That's good.
I've been doing that for years. So
yeah.
Because I'm a makeup artist, I'm constantly washing my hands on top of it. This is like a big thing. So the washing the hands stops the spread of any germs. But in my neurosis, when I did my cosmetics, everybody kind of joked around with me about the bag, right? Why is it in the bag? I'm like, it's hermetically sealed until you get it. Nobody's touching this makeup besides you. So I was like, how appropriate. Perfect timing. You get to open it when it arrives at your house. And I thought that this was, if I can get it open, and it was like one of those things where I was like, okay, my neurosis finally came in handy on a big scale. So yeah, so like it comes in like that.
Ooh, look at that.
This is the glowy and showy palette, which
That's
is my
cool.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. And look, the name and everything. It's fun.
Ooh. So okay,
I gotta send you one of these. You'll love these. This is all your highlighters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you in the hot seat because.
Oh no.
Yes. You're in Palm Springs. You're fine.
Yes. Okay.
There's a lot of makeup lines out there. You know, lots of celebrities. The 10,000 Kardashians. They've all got makeup. Everyone's got a makeup line.
Yes.
But I want to know what sets yours apart from all the others.
Okay, I can answer that. I'm a makeup artist. And I have a long history of being a makeup artist. And I started out as a fine arts painter. So my background is in painting. So I know what's out there that works and doesn't work. And I've gone through almost every product that there is. And I made things that I want to use, you know, and I understand what women like. So that's really why I created my cosmetic line. It was not a question of, it's like how Body Bling came into existence. When I did, you know, my signature product, it was like, I did that back in 2004 and it's still going strong, you know, and everybody's copied it, you know, thank you. But it was because out of necessity, it just didn't exist in the marketplace. You know, I was like, I want to look tan in 2 seconds. I don't want to wait for a self-tanner to develop. I don't want that smell. I was working with actresses, and a lot of them had to go back to set. Maybe we were shooting a glamour cover, Harper's Bazaar cover, and then the next day they're going back to their movie set, and they have to keep continuity. I understand continuity because they're doing films. So this had to go on and come off. So how do you do that? So I created Body Bling. Same thing with the makeup. It's like the payoff's there. I make sure that things are like I made them. It's not like I slapped my name on it and said, hey, I'm a celebrity makeup artist, so let me put my name on this. I actually created the product from the ground up. And my partner is a manufacturer, so it makes a big difference in how things are done.
Does it ever get frustrating to you as a makeup artist, like this is your professional job, when you see certain people and they just put their name on something and who knows if they're involved, if they know what they're doing? Like, is that frustrating?
It can be. It depends on the people. Like, I'm always really, like, I'm impressed with, like, I feel like Jeffree Star really understands makeup. I feel like Tati, who plays makeup all the time, understands it. I think Kim Kardashian's really good with makeup too, you know, because she understands it. Huda, you know, that you kind of know what people like. I don't think everybody hits 100. None of us do. So there's things from every line, and I think there's room for everybody. And I think it's just, you know, we're in a place in the world where it's really fun to create and share ideas and share techniques. And we have these social platforms to do that on, like, oh, look, try this, or do the, You know, some of it I hate, like the wavy eyebrow or the, you know, the puckered lip or the scallop. I was like, what is this? You know, but everybody tries, you know.
What are your tips? Because a lot of people now they're doing Zooms, they're doing Instagram Lives, they're FaceTiming to kind of freshen yourself up while you're in quarantine and you're, you know, Zooming with people and all that stuff.
I feel like even though we're in quarantine, you don't let yourself go. You know what I mean? I think that's a really important thing because a lot of being stuck at home is a little bit of a mental challenge too. It's like, what do I do with my time? Am I scared? You know, it's a lot of people have a lot of fears and anxiety, and a lot of people are alone. So this is your only connection with other people is being online, and you want to freshen up. You want to look good. So, you know, I always say keep your makeup simple. You don't want to be like a full drag beat for like for you know, a Zoom meeting or.
Hey, you want to be a drag queen for a Zoom? Live your truth.
That's what I'm saying. That too, you know. I just think for like business stuff, like if you're saying for business purposes, like, you know, pull it together. You know, sweep your hair up, make it nice, or make your hair down, whatever. Just do really make sure your lighting's good in your house too. That's really important.
Hey, a ring light is key.
See all around me. I live in light, so I love the light, and we have purple lights going on in our house for Easter, so.
Oh, that's festive.
Yeah, a little pinky purple.
Just want you know, you've gotten a shout out from Kenya, from Egypt, from the Dominican Republic, from Greece.
Yay! I love all those people. I love all those places. I travel everywhere, so this is good stuff.
Malta, you're getting love from Malta.
Yay, Malta.
So people keep asking about the cut crease.
Yes. Number 62, my amazing brush, does the cut crease.
What exactly is that, Scott?
Well, it kind of creates, like, if you see I have a bit of a hoodie lid. If you just kind of create a crease, maybe where there isn't one, you can kind of create a three-dimensional eye. And if you do have some real estate on your eyelid to play with, you're golden, because then you can put a gorgeous lash on and some sparkle. But it's really about just kind of keeping this space open and creating depth in the crease up in to the brow a little bit. So I do it on Jennifer a lot, and it just really, it gives the eye a big impact, you know.
They want to know, what makeup are you wearing right now?
I have on my new bronzer that I'm sampling some of my new stuff that's coming out, so that's what I have on.
So
I have a little bit of the contour palette.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get to the contour in a second because I'm getting a lot of questions about the contour. But where can we buy your products?
At scottbarnes.com.
Okay. And were you affected by that? Because I know that is it your factory in China where they make your?
It is.
So how did
we have U.S. and China factories. We have both.
So how has this affected your business?
It hasn't.
Oh.
At all.
Okay, well, that's great.
Yeah, because we have the U.S. factory. So when there was stuff going on in China, we were in the U.S. doing stuff, and now that they're all back to work, everybody's, you know, it didn't affect them where we're at, so it was good. But, you know, it's a lot to deal with and hear about, and all these things going on. It's like, wow, it's scary, you know?
Yeah.
And part of my reasoning is they have really stringent rules for, you can't even go in, there's a 3-step process when you go into our labs. Like it's a decontamination thing. And our stuff is made by machine, like it's inside of a box, which I should post a video, and it like makes everything. And then things get packaged and nobody touches it. It's like, that's how phobic I am.
Hey, this is a good thing, Scott.
I think it is.
You know,
for me it is. It's like, I always think, well, this is fresh, you know?
People want to know, what lip gloss do you use on Jen?
Okay, I use several things. I use Tom Ford. I use Victoria Duke. And I have new lip glosses coming out. You guys are I haven't really shown these to anybody yet. We were supposed, the week that we went into quarantine, I was supposed to shoot the campaign for this with one of the greatest photographers, and he was flying in from New York, and I said, I think we should pull the plug on this shoot. And it was really heartbreaking for me. I was dying to work with this man for so many years, and now he's coming to shoot my campaign, and I'm like, we can't do it. And he was like, I understand, but here's the gloss. You can see
the
this.
The packaging is so pretty.
Thank you.
It's really good packaging.
Double window. And I'm coming out with 32 shades. It's, I'm doing a matte lip gloss, and then these are the flossy glossies. The other ones are see. So it comes with a brush.
Okay.
And the other ones have a doe foot, which I don't think I have one of those in front of me. Yeah, these are the new shades I'm doing for summer.
Now there's starting to be a trend that we're seeing, especially on Instagram, with guys wearing makeup, not necessarily like a full beat, but maybe like a little concealer here and there.
It's so
what
good.
do you recommend for like a guy who just maybe wants a simple, fresh look?
Yeah, I think sometimes if you need to do a little spot correcting, it's great to get, there's a lot of products out there. YSL makes a product called a Touche Claw, which is like a little gold click pen, and it has a brush, and maybe you can do a little spot correcting. Also brightens up underneath the eyes. If you're talking about a subdued natural, do a bronzer. I have a luminizing mist that's coming out that you can spray over top of that, so you don't look like you're wearing powder or a bronzer where it kind of looks like it's sitting on top of your skin. Especially if you're somebody like you who say, oh, I have dry skin.
Yeah. How
do you make it not look like it's sitting on top?
Right.
A luminizing mist. I can show it to to if you have.
Yeah.
I'm just approving scents right now.
Okay.
And I dropped it. But I got it.
Gosh, I wish you could miss me through the phone.
I know, it's really cool, but I put a little bit of, if you can see in the bottom there's shimmer going on inside of it.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like a setting spray, but with, you know, some color to it, or a little bit of bronze to it. So it's not just so, you know, where your face looks dry. Especially for guys, they want a little bit of color too, you know. Like
right.
I do men's makeup all the time, so, you know.
How do you make J-Lo glow? How does she glow like that?
She glows like that naturally.
Yeah, I know. It's because she doesn't drink alcohol.
She is so healthy, and she takes care of her body. And you know what's great too is Jennifer's been working on a skincare line. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I've been privy to see some of the stuff that she's working on, and it's really amazing. So everybody should get really excited when that comes. I mean, it's something it's near and dear to her. So, you know, she takes care of her skin. She's a smart girl. She, you know, puts on sunscreen religiously every day, and she takes care of her skin with moisturizers and cleansing, and, you know, it makes a difference. You know, your makeup only looks as good as your skin looks underneath it. Remember that. It's like, I'm a makeup artist. I can make things look amazing for a camera, and then the retouching does the rest. But, you know, if your face is busted, it's, you know, because you're not taking care of your skin, you got to take care of your skin. Yeah. It's really important for a lot of reasons, you know?
Yeah. Okay, the art of the perfect contour. What is the art? Now, I'm not talking about like a RuPaul's Drag Race contour.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I love contour, right? And everybody knows that. I've written a couple books on it. But I love to put contour underneath the foundation. That's really what my thing is. I don't love seeing it so much because I think when you do drag, you see a lot of it, and that's okay. It's like, it's part of the fun of it, and it's the art of it. But I think for real girls, or you want to look, you don't want everybody to see, oh, she's carved out. Like it's, you know, black lines on your face or down. I always say, like, when you see somebody with the lines down the nose,
yeah,
it's like behind bars, you know, like, let him out of prison. It's like, help, let me out. So, yeah, I always feel like you should put all that stuff on and then kind of use your foundation and work it together. But it's really about the contour that you use. I like to work with a drier contour so it stays put where you put it, and then the foundation goes over top of it, and they seam together. Sometimes if you use too soft of a contour and then you put the foundation over top of it, it turns into a muddy mess, right? And you're like, well, that was useless. Like, what was the point of doing the contour? So it's about reinforcing it underneath. And I always say, like, the drier the contour. I'm working on contour sticks right now. They're almost done. I'm still tweaking the formula a little bit. It was too soft. That was what my problem was. I was like, still not right. You know, you want it to be a little bit where it stays put, you know, because you're creating bones where sometimes there aren't bones, you know, or you're creating a jawline where there maybe is two, you know. You want to
you mentioned your YouTube channel, and do you have these like tutorials on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's like, actually, I don't know if you know WWE wrestler Natty by Nature. Are you familiar with who she is?
Yes, I've heard her, yes.
Okay, so her and I did a thing where she goes, will you do my makeup? I said, yeah, if you do it on camera. She goes, okay. So I did her makeup, and I said, I'll give you a beat down. And she goes, all right, as long as I can give you a beat down. So we did it in a wrestling ring. I did her makeup ringside, and then we got into the ring, and she literally beat me.
Oh, shit.
WWE style, like throwing me everywhere.
Okay.
You need to see it. It's on my YouTube channel. You will laugh. I mean, like, literally, she did beat me. I'm not even going to joke.
Hey.
And I'm pretty big. I'm like a muscly guy. I was like, okay.
Tell everyone what your YouTube channel address.
It's Scott Barnes TV.
Scott Barnes TV.
Pretty easy.
You'll see a contour video. You'll see Scott getting the shit beat out of him.
It's great. Sounds
like a good time.
There's nobody better to get beat up by than Natty. I mean, she's gorgeous and she's tough. Gotta love that.
Now I always wonder this, because sometimes I get dark circles under my eyes. Yeah. And then, you know, when I interview a lot of these actresses, like they've got no dark circles, but of course everyone does. So what do you do to combat dark circles under your clients' eyes?
Okay. So I always tell people it depends on what your skin tone is. I don't think one concealer works for everybody. So if you kind of look at your knuckles, your skin tone is in your knuckles. So either you're really golden or you're really pink. You look very golden to me.
Well, it might be my ring light, Scott.
No, are you pinky? It doesn't look super pinky. Like, I look pinky, see?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm not as pink. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so like that's part of the reason why I use self-tanners all the time, is because it gives me that golden, and it combats some of the red in my skin. I have old sun damage from when I was a kid, and I'm like, not into it. I've done a lot of like reversal of sun damage, but over the years with dermatologists, I stay out of the sun. And if I do go in the sun, heavy sunscreen, you know? Yeah. But to answer your question, you can, if you notice sometimes, and everybody will just respond to this, if you use the wrong concealer, that dark circle will actually turn gray, and it looks weird. I think the best way to combat for me is a little bit of pink, believe it or not. Pink gets rid of that. It cancels that gray out, and it turns in that purpley blue color, and it just neutralizes it. Then you can go over it with your like a little bit of foundation, depending how dark your circles are. If you're golden, Indian, African American, you want to go with like almost like a mustardy color underneath the eye. If you're a white girl, you know, you can get away with that, but it still has to have a little bit of pink in it. If it goes too yellow, that turns green. That black line turns into a green line, and it's very hard to cover, and then it looks like someone popped you and you're bruised. We don't want that.
This is a question that I have, because I've always wondered this, is what face wash does Jennifer Lopez use, and what like moisturizer does she use?
Well, I don't know what she washes her face with, because I'm usually not with her when she washes her face. Like she usually, when she sits in the chair, she's already like put her moisturizer on, or she comes out of the shower. So, you know, she's prepped when she sits down. I know that she uses her moisturizer, and she's using serums and stuff that she's designed. So her skin's amazing. Like when she sits down, I'm literally trying to spook the wrinkles, and there aren't any. I'm like, damn, your skin looks good. She's like, thanks, you know, like, and I'm like, you know what you're doing, so don't even try.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's the key to a good serum? Because there's like there's obviously tons of them out there. How do you know which one to pick?
Well, there's stuff with hyaluronic acid in it. There's collagen. There's so many products on the market right now. And what I find, and I think anybody can attest to this, when you're using a serum and you're putting makeup over top of it, you don't want those ones that like ball up, where they kind of almost sit on top of the surface, and then they turn into like, it's like cornflakes on your face. You're like, okay, now I'm putting foundation onto it. Now I've got little balls. It's like balled up grossness. You know, you're like, yeah. What is that? So I always feel like if you have a really good makeup routine, check and see how they work together. Not every product's compatible together, you know, and that's the thing. It's different if you're doing treatment before you go to bed, you're not wearing makeup or putting anything over it. That's one way. Another way is like, I always use serums and stuff before makeup. So they have to be compatible. And if not, I use oils like, you know, rose oil from like Sicily. This black rose oil is one of my, I use it to thin out foundation. I use it for a lot of things, especially when you're doing men too. It's like, just a couple of drops of that with any kind of cover up, and it turns into like a stain as opposed to you're wearing makeup, you know?
Right. Or you know what's good is the Kiehl's Midnight Oil.
That's great too.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, it just gives you a little bit of slip, right? And gives you a good glow. You look healthy. You don't feel like you're so dried out.
Yeah.
Especially because in California, the weather gets a little dry here, you know?
Yeah.
And especially out here, you know.
What advice would you give? Because, you know, when I was growing up or you were growing up, there was no YouTube. But now there's YouTube and there's kids watching people like you posting videos, and they like makeup and they want to do what you do. So what advice would you give to people these days who want to do what you do?
You know, I had an interesting start. I started out as a fine arts painter and major, and I worked for a photographer, and he was like, you should do makeup. And I was like, not interested in that at all. I want to be a painter. And, you know, you have these goals in your head, and so he kept pushing, and that's how I became a makeup artist. And then I latched onto it and did very well with it, obviously. And I feel like everybody's road is different, but the thing I think is the most important is that you stay true to what you love. Like if it's a certain style of something or your style and you bring it to the table, make sure that it's unique. It's like, you know, there seems to be a lot of people that are just, it's this, here's the way you do makeup, and they do it on every single person the same way. And I don't think every face is the same, you know, and you can't approach every single face the exact same way. So have some originality with it is what I'm saying, you know, and really play with it. Makeup is fun. Grab your mom, grab your sister, grab your cousins, grab your friends, and do their makeup if you want to become a makeup artist. And you'll see right away, oh my gosh, I'm awful. Or, okay, I got a knack for this. I could do this, you know. So, or you can get better at it.
Have there ever been any stories, and you don't have to give any names, where you know, had a famous client or whatever, and you put their makeup on, and they might have thrown a tantrum, and how do you deal?
Telling you stories.
No.
Yeah, somebody's telling you stories.
No, but like, how do you deal with those personalities? Because even on my side of things, I've seen some things, but I can't imagine you're the guy like touching people's faces and stuff.
I know. Sometimes it's not a fun place to be in, because not everybody's in the best mood when you're doing their makeup, and you are literally in their face, and it's like, I don't want to be here either. You know, so can we just get this over with? You know, that kind of thing. And then there's other people you just don't ever want to stop doing their makeup. Like Vanessa Williams is one of those people that are literally like, she respects the makeup and hair process so much. And it's a pleasure to work with people that do that. Jennifer understands and respects the process. You know, she loves it. I don't think she loves sitting all that time. I think she's been doing it for so long that, you know, that gets like, after a while, you're like, okay, you done? You know, and us as artists, we're like, more, you know, sit down, you know, you're gigantic Barbie doll. You know? You're having the best time in our lives with you. And she's like, yeah, this isn't fun for me. So, but yeah, when you have people that are just having tantrums, you just back away. You know, I've had it just in my career, which is a couple decades, I've just see some crazy stuff, and you just go, yeah, not today. You know, and I think the longer I've been in this business, the more I'm like, yeah, no, you're not doing that.
You ain't got time for that.
I think too, we're in a day and age now where people don't put up with that anymore, anywhere. Like no one has time for that. And it's like, if you can't be decent, then just don't be, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we all have to be nice to each other. I think there's so much going on in the world that we really need that moment where we're kind. Everybody needs it, you know? Even before this Corona thing, you know? I think kindness is a big thing.
What's the future? What's the future of your business look like? Of just the makeup industry in general? Like, are we going to see like nanotechnology, like makeup, like?
Well, I know nano's been existing for a while in skincare. That I do know. There's this like nanotechnology, this and that. I'm reading about it, seeing it. A lot of it's coming out of Korea, and they're really good with skincare, by the way. Korea's like,
oh my God,
they're brilliant with skincare. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is so, and everybody's got their thing. It's great, you know. I make some stuff in Italy, and so like I have lip products that are all coming out of Italy, lip pencils, you know. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing all over the place. I just think that the trends are going to depict, I think a lot of this too I think things are going to change after this. I really do. You know, the way that people are handling each other and the way that people purchase product too. I think that that's going to change immensely. So I think a lot is we're kind of figuring out as we go, but I feel like our online connection with people is going to be much stronger. And I always wanted to do that in the first place. So for me, I'm right where I should be. You know what I mean? I'm like, yay, I get to connect with everybody. I'm making you things. You guys are the first ones to get it. You know, if you're on my mailing list, you know, I'm going to start doing all this limited edition stuff because I can. And that's where I get excited about it. It's like, okay, I'm going to make, you know, X amount of these. And then when they're gone, they're gone. And then I'm going to make something else and keeping it fresh and keeping it fun. You know, I think that's the trick.
Getting questions about body makeup.
Yeah.
What's going on here? What do you think is the right way to do it? The products you like to use on your clients?
Well, I love body bling. I mean, I created it. So, and that category didn't exist before I created it, which is fun, you know. I also love, like, say you don't want all that shine. I've been working on a product that you can use to cover. It even can cover tattoos and varicose veins and stuff like that, depending on how you use it. But it's almost like body makeup, which it exists. It's out there already. It's just being able to move it. Some of it gets a little gray because it's heavy. And that's what I've noticed with the ones that are out on the market already. So I'm trying to combat that. That's why it's not out yet. I'm like, how do you get the coverage without it being slippery and getting on everything in your car, in your sofa, you know, all over your loved ones? You give a big hug, and the next thing you know, they're brown. It's like the teddy bear hug, the chocolate kiss hug.
So I know you've talked about self tanners, and you have
love.
So what people want to know? What would you recommend?
I think with self tanners, I use a product called Pro-Tan, which is what they use on bodybuilders. Not the one that they use for the competition. That's like, it's like paint. It's like molasses, which is great for stage, and that's wonderful. They have a spray tan that they do. What I like about it is it doesn't grab on any of the dry parts on your skin, like your elbows, and it's got a really good color for me, for my skin tone. There's a lot of, you know, I think, and the best way to get a spray tan is to have somebody do it for you. Have a professional do it. I've seen some horribly home jobs that are like, no, you know, and I'm sure people are going through that on their, you know, let's talk about manicures. Not everybody can have Tom Baycheck with them all the time. You're like, I need, you know, your gels are falling off, your lashes are sideways, your extensions are slipping out. We're going to look like cave people when this is over.
I mean, I could use some self-tanner, Scott, just saying.
You probably would look amazing tan. I mean, you look great now. You're very handsome, so I think
I need to go to Palm Springs is basically what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you should come on out.
I burned, Scott. I burned.
SPF. You won't burn if you put SPF on. That's what people think. They're like, I won't get any sun, but it doesn't. What it does is it blocks you from burning. That's what's great about it. I mean, you might be a little bit bright for a couple hours, but you don't get that, like, I can't sit down feeling and my skin's on fire and I need aloe. Like, you've damaged your skin if you need aloe. You know what I mean? You're like too crispy. I mean, don't you go on vacation or? I
do, but guess what? I look just like, I literally sit in the shade. I just don't want, I'm 150 years old, Scott.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay.
But I stay out of the sun as much as I can.
I have a birthday coming up in a week, so.
My birthday's tomorrow.
Is it? Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Mine's April 22nd. So wait, you're an Aries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an Aries.
I'm a Taurus on the first day. So
there you go.
I'm the 22. And I'm going to be, I'll be 52.
Well, see, okay. So I guess you're repping. So you're 52, but I want to know, what was your first big gig with your first big client? Do you remember what that was?
Yes. Like a celebrity client?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It was, I got a call from Stephen Huvane to do Famke Jensen. And I was like, okay, you know, I had been doing magazines and stuff and working with models all the time. So for me, I was like, all right, I didn't really understand. And this was before like the real, like actresses dominated the covers. Models were still on all the covers when I was doing this, right? So I was like, all right, you know, I'll go do the thing. And she was really cool and I liked her. And then about a week later, I get a call like, come do Gwyneth Paltrow. And I was like with Gwyneth Paltrow through Shakespeare in Love. And I was doing all the press with her. And I was like, well, this is fun. And then I started working with Julianne Moore. And I was like, you know, all these amazingly talented, beautiful actresses. And then I met Jennifer, and it was like literally, you know, when you have those moments where you're like, I'm in love. Like it was like love at first sight, you know, and you have to love the people you work with, you know, to be able to be with them for 20 years. And she walked in the room, she took my breath away. It was like, and I hadn't seen her look like that. That was the thing. It was an in-style cover I was shooting, and her hair was swept back, and she had this beautiful turtleneck on and a blue leather jean jacket, like it was jean jacket style, blue leather, blue turtleneck, and blue aviators, and her hair was slicked back, and she had her, you know, her jeans. And I was like, whoa, like who just walked in the room, you know? And then I did her makeup, and I wanted her makeup to look the way I had just immediately saw her, you know? It took my breath away, and I was like, no one's seen this girl look like this. It was too much on her face for me before. And then I saw, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was magical. It was that moment when, like, the next job I did with her was the J.Lo album cover, and it really launched the whole monochromatic, glowy skin, bronzy, everything. And it was just, you know, it was the two of us coming together. It was like, you know, it was electricity.
She looks great, Scott.
Yes, and still beautiful. Like, I'm like, how is it that you're just not aging and I'm just getting old around you? It's weird.
I mean, when I sat next to her at the Critics' Choice Awards, I
just, like, off the record, what is it? It's like the body, the face, the fashion, everything.
I think, well,
she's like literally everything. You're like, okay, you're being a little delicious right now, and it's
I don't get it.
Just like the global deliciousness, you know, it's like a chocolate kiss.
Yeah. Just wrapping it up, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but people are asking about lashes. What are you?
Yes.
What are your preferred lashes? The way you set them, what you use?
I love lashes, as everybody knows. Anybody that knows me knows that, like, you cannot complete a look without a lash. You just look puny-eyed, like you look like you're sleeping. You're like, I make a lot of lashes, which are great. And I think I use everything. I use everything from Ardell to Huda. I use my own lashes. Like, you just got to find lashes that fit you really well and make sure that they complement you. Not every lash complements every eye. That's for sure. So you got to know that if you're doing things, you got to figure it out.
One of my Dish Nation producers is asking, do magnetic lashes work?
Those are stupid. They just don't work. Think about one, like, bad wind, you know, thing, you know, like, it's off.
How does that even...
Imagine a wind fan. Could you imagine you put it... Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
J-Lo with a wind fan and the hair's blowing. That lash will blow right off. I mean, that would be like in the wind. Lashes in the wind.
I've seen it. I've seen her show. She has a fan right there. That thing those lashes would blow right off her face.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a tornado. Like, lash gone. I can't imagine that being strong. Like, you know, there's even certain glues that aren't even strong enough for those wind fans. And you don't want to be that one girl where it's like this one's going all the way up here and this one's normal. You just look like you're, like, surprised on one side.
There we go.
I think there's a meme of that somewhere where
I need to go find that because I'm going to use it later for something.
It's so good. It's a gift, actually. It's a gift.
Well, Scott, thank you. Again, tell everyone where they can buy your products and where they can watch your tutorials.
Yes, you guys can see me on YouTube at Scott Barnes TV, or you can go to scottbarnes.com and you can get my products there. And also, if you register or just sign up for my newsletter, I'll let everybody know when everything's coming out so you guys can get first grabs at it.
Awesome. Thank you,
All right.
Scott.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, of course. Bye.
God bless you. Huh?
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye.
You too. Bye.